Antimony is very much a critical mineral, and the U.S. and North America is in a rush to source that and replenish their supply chains for antimony.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Cal Malhi. He is the CEO of Hertz Energy. And Cal, it's good to see you again. How are you?
Good morning, Steve. I'm good. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, excited to have you along. You've got some news out today about work being done on the Harriman antimony property. And we're going to talk a bit about antimony in just a second because it really is becoming a very interesting and critical metal for a lot of different reasons. We'll cover that in a second. But first, crews are getting on site very soon.
Yes, Steve. Last week we announced we acquired the Harriman project, and we're very aggressive in getting on the ground. So next week or so, we'll have a crew on the ground doing some surface exploration with the goal to identify some drill targets, so we can get a drill rig on site as soon as possible. And in Quebec, you can drill in the winter and fall, so that's a benefit for us.
And the program's going to last a little while, will it?
Yes, we'll be going as long as we need to. We do have funding in place. We've got approximately 750,000 in what's called flow-through capital, which is dedicated for exploration in Quebec, and we plan to deploy that on the antimony project to advance that as quickly as we can.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are unfamiliar with antimony and just why it is, and they should be because the price of it is dramatically increased. But it is a critical metal, and maybe you can talk a bit about the importance of that critical metal.
Steve, if I can just back up and just kind of summarize where mining has come in the last decade or two. Up until the last couple of decades, mining was known for base metals, right? If investors looked at mining, mining was known for gold, copper, zinc, iron ore. In the last 2 decades, we've come to know what's called critical minerals. Critical minerals, up until recently, were controlled mostly out of China, and critical minerals go with the electrification of our economies, with the computer age, electric vehicles, solar power, and critical minerals were mostly coming out of China. The supply chains were controlled by China. And critical minerals such as lithium, niobium, tungsten, and antimony. 60-70% of antimony coming into North America was China supplied. And I think if we look at investment opportunity in minerals, critical minerals investment is an opportunity for our generation. We're stepping away from base metals and into critical minerals, and antimony is a very, very critical mineral, if we can say.
Yeah, and where does Hertz fit into all of this? I mean, obviously you've got this project, but this is something that you're really pushing towards.
Yeah, we've established Hertz Energy as a critical minerals mineral exploration company. We have some very strong critical minerals projects in Quebec for lithium. And now we've added the antimony project. And we've chosen Quebec because Quebec has a very, very strong incentive program to fund mineral exploration. It's called a flow-through program where investors who invest in mineral exploration get almost 100% tax credit for their investment. So there's an abundance of capital available to fund mineral exploration in Quebec. And the Quebec is a very mineral-rich province.
Yeah. I mentioned that obviously it's important to find this in North America. You talked about what's happening in China and elsewhere around the world and how really the push is to find this stuff in North America. And on the military side, we're talking about everything from night vision to lasers to flares. I mean, antimony is used in a lot of different things. So finding a North American part of that supply chain is very important.
Yes, Steve. In the middle of August this year, China announced that they were restricting the export of antimony. And like I said, most of the U.S. antimony, 60-70% of it came from China. So there's a scramble to source antimony from around the world. North America did not develop its antimony resources until now. So there's a rush to develop antimony resources. And as you know, antimony is used heavily in weapons production. And we've got a lot of weapons being deployed around the world in Ukraine, in Middle East, everywhere else.
Mm.
And weapons supplies have been depleted, and there's a rush to replenish those supplies, and antimony is very much in demand. We've seen the price of antimony go from 8,000 a ton to almost 24,000 a ton in the last 3 months. So antimony is very much a critical mineral, and the U.S. and North America is in a rush to source that and replenish their supply chains for antimony.
Yeah, makes no surprise as to why you're getting crews out there as quick as you can. Cal, thanks so much. Good to catch up with you, and we look forward to following the work that's being done on Harriman.
No, thank you, Steve, for allowing us to explain what Hertz Energy is doing and what's going on in the antimony world.
All right, looks good. Cal Malhi, the CEO of Hertz Energy.